the chief's daughter and the hunter. A love against tradition from the moment Amara was born. Her life was mapped out for her. As the only child of the powerful and respected chief, she was destined to marry well, to forge alliances that would keep her father's tribe at the pinnacle of power. But Amara yearned for more than the suffocating confines of tradition. She dreamed of a love that was hers, a love that set her spirit free. Her father, the chief, ruled with an iron fist. His word was law, and questioning his decisions meant bringing shame upon the tribe. Yet despite his stoic and unbending nature, even he had once dared to dream of a different life, a life that love had It was a love story that had ended tragically, leaving him forever scarred and more determined than ever to keep his daughter from tasting the same bitter fruit. Now, on the eve of her arranged marriage to a man she didn't know, Amara found herself inexplicably drawn to the one person her father would never approve of, the enigmatic hunter who roamed the vast wilderness beyond the tribe's borders. His name was Zarek, a lone wolf who lived by his own rules and whose heart had been untouched by the bonds of commitment. He was everything her father loathed, a symbol of the very freedoms her people had relinquished in the pursuit of safety and security. Yet it was precisely this forbidden allure that captivated Amara. In his eyes, she saw a reflection of the wild spirit that burned within her, a spirit that refused to be caged by the expectations of their world. Their connection was immediate and undeniable, forged in the face of opposition and nurtured in the secrecy of moonlit rendezvous. But their stolen moments couldn't last forever. The threat of discovery loomed over them like a storm on the horizon, and the weight of their impossible love threatened to consume them. As the day of her wedding approached, Amara found herself torn between two worlds. The life of luxury and security her father had prepared for her, and the uncertain but exhilarating freedom offered by Zarek. With each passing moment, the pull of the hunter's love grew stronger, whispering promises of a life less ordinary in his arms. Amara knew she could unlive a life half-heartedly pledged to one man, while her heart belonged to another. So when the time came for her to make her choice, there was no hesitation in her eye. As the wedding procession arrived at the village square, Amara, adorned in her finest garments, sat poised on a raised platform, her face betraying none of the turmoil within. Her gaze, however, betrayed her, searching the crowd for a familiar figure, a hunter who hadn't come to claim her as his own. When Zara entered the village, all eyes turned to him. Whispers erupted like startled birds, their murmurs carrying tales of his daring exploits and forbidden love for the chief's daughter. Despite the commotion, his eyes remained fixed on Amara, his heart pounding a primal rhythm against his ribs. Their eyes met across the crowded square, and in that instant, the world seemed to fall away. It was as if time itself stood still, allowing only their souls to speak. Zara's eyes, as dark and fathomless as the night sky, held a depth of emotion that mirrored her own. And in that shared silence, they reaffirmed the bond that defied convention, but their stolen glances couldn't remain hidden forever. The chief, his face etched with authority and suspicion, stepped forward, his voice echoing with power. With every word, he painted a picture of Zara as a threat, a disruptive force who sought to tear apart the fabric of their society. Amara, however, found her voice, her words echoing with newfound strength. She spoke of love, not as a weakness, but as a driving force that had led her to Zara, a love that had blossomed despite the odds, proving its strength and resilience. The chief, his gaze unwavering, saw not a loving couple, but a betrayal of trust, a challenge to his authority. His decision, heavy with tradition and duty, was to banish Zara from their lives forever, to drive him out of their village and into the unforgiving wilderness from which he'd come. Zara, his face hardened by resolve, refused to back down. He would not submit to the chief's demands, nor would he abandon him. Love, he argued, should not be banished, but embraced, for it was the very essence of life, binding hearts and communities together. As the debate intensified, the villagers were torn. Some sided with the chief, their loyalty to tradition unshaken. Others, swayed by Amara and Zara's unwavering love, yearned for a more progressive path. The village square became a battleground of emotions, a microcosm of the conflicting forces that shaped their world. Amidst the chaos, Amara and Zara clung to each other, finding solace in their shared love. They knew that their happiness could not be dictated by societal norms or the rigid expectations of their elders. With the situation at its breaking point, the elders stepped in, their voices carrying the weight of age and experience. They proposed a compromise, a test that would determine the fate of Amara and Zara's love. The test was this: Zara must prove himself not just as a lover, but as a responsible member of their community, demonstrating that he could contribute to the tribe's well-being and respect its traditions. Only then would the chief consider granting his daughter's hand to him. Zara, his face set with determination, accepted the challenge. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but his love for Amara fueled his resolve. Over the next few weeks, Zara immersed himself in the life of the tribe. He learned their customs, participated in their rituals, and offered his skills as a hunter to provide for the community. He proved himself to be not just a passionate lover, but a reliable and resourceful member of their society. Slowly but surely, he chipped away at the chief's resistance, planting seeds of admiration and grudging respect. Meanwhile, Amara stood by her love's side, her presence a constant source of support and encouragement. She, too, played a part in bridging the divide, using her understanding of her father's world to help Zara navigate its complexity. As the day of the final assessment arrived, the entire tribe gathered. Zara, standing before them, was a changed man. He had not only met their expectations, but had exceeded them, proving that his love for Amara was matched only by his commitment to their way of life. The chief, his expression unreadable, looked at his daughter and the hunter who had once threatened to disrupt her life. Now he saw not a threat, but a young man who had earned his respect. With a heavy heart, but a resolute spirit, the chief gave his consent, acknowledging Zara and Amara's love before the entire tribe. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices echoing the joy that filled the air. In that moment, Amara and Zara knew their journey had just begun. They had proven their love's strengths, but now they had to nurture it, allowing it to grow amidst the challenges and triumphs of their shared life. As the sun set over the horizon, casting long shadows over the village, Amara and Zara's wedding celebration commenced. The festivities carried on late into the night, with music, dance, and the laughter of loved ones filling the air. Under the canopy of stars, these two souls who had dared to love against tradition sealed their vows with a kiss, promising to cherish each other through life's adventures. Their love story, once on the brink of being torn apart, now stood as a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that even the most deeply rooted traditions could bend to the power of true love. The tale of Amara and Zara echoed through the ages, whispered around campfires and sung by wandering men. It became a testament to the enduring power of love, a love that had not only united to hearts, but had also bridged the divides of tradition and custom. And so, the chief's daughter and the hunter, symbols of passion and societal change, continued their journey hand in hand, proving that where there's love, there's a way.